I first played upcoming sim racing game Rennsport in 2022. And since then, other games have been thought of, gone through early access, and been released. And yet Rennsport isn't released yet. Still, there is some progress because I'm playing it right now on a PlayStation 5.
A quick recap for those not in the loop before we look at some Rennsport console gameplay, including direct capture. This is a new sim racing driving game, initially aimed squarely at the likes of iRacing with large, shiny, in-person esports events with some of the world's best drivers. Competition was seemingly the main goal. Instead of working away in private, Rennsport decided to take the bold step of developing in public through these pinnacle events. But it's been a bit like me trying to build IKEA furniture in the middle of Trafalgar Square. Things have progressed slowly and there have been some hiccups along the way. They've moved from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 mid-development. There was a closed beta, an open beta, and then free-to-play early access with some expensive founders packs and virtual currency bundles. It has a motorsport-themed car roster, a mixture of real and fantasy tracks, the latter converted from Assetto Corsa community-made mods, and a native in-game multiplayer ranking system. Earlier in the year, French publishing giant Nacon picked up the title for its console release, which is for both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, and is expected alongside version 1.0 on PC. It is also set for cross-platform racing and progression. A single-player mode will be a series of mid-race scenario challenges, and we saw some PlayStation trophies rewarding you for reaching an in-game level. Every time you hit the track, it will log your kilometers or if you win a race, and these will help towards those goals. Outside of that, dynamic weather systems, VR support and driver swaps are all slated for post-release updates. That does sound like it may be a bit light on some content and features.
However, if you're a Gran Turismo 7 player and a PlayStation 5 owner, some people recently have been frustrated by the lack of contemporary new GT3 cars, LMDh hypercars, GT4 cars that are not appearing in Polyphony's title. Rennsport should release on PlayStation this year with wheel and gamepad compatibility, and I'm driving the Ford Mustang GT3 in here. There's also the 2026 spec Porsche. So there's a bigger range of contemporary race car vehicles from the real world. Now the roster still seems a bit light to me, and the track list. We have information on the Traxion website. As each car and track have been announced, we're adding to a list. Let's hope there's some more added for the game. And in fact, there's going to be a change in pricing model. So when it comes out on console and then PC at the same time, it's going to be no longer free to play.
Instead, it'll be a regular retail release, with one price encompassing all of the base game. That applies to PC, but also on consoles, and speaking of which, those on PS5 and Xbox can opt in for a physical game version too. Then there will be an optional deluxe edition that will include one extra car, the Porsche 911 GT3R Rennsport, and one extra track, the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Yes, it's behind the deluxe edition. Plus, there will be access to 2 future DLC packs included within this version. So, as for pricing, the standard edition on PC is €49.99, that's euros, and on console, €59.99, also in euros, and that is for 18 cars and 13 tracks. The deluxe edition on PC will be €69.99, and on console, €79.99. As for that DLC, the first 2 packs will be Endurance Classics Part 1, expected around December, and Touring Classics Part 1, expected sometime early in 2026. The 1983 Porsche 956 Group C Racer will be part of the first pack, and retro DTM cars are expected in the latter, with the full lineup expected closer to release. Oh, and the Ford Mustang GT3 you see us driving in this video, well, that is a pre-order bonus exclusive.
I am testing this with the RevoSim direct drive sim wheel. Now this wheelbase came out on PC in June. It's just been announced that it will be PlayStation 5 and Xbox compatible soon, and I am testing Rennsport on a dev PS5 work in progress build, but also the work in progress wheelbase, which is working on a PlayStation.
So with that in mind, how does it drive? Well, in a word, benign. It's very easy and straightforward to drive the Ford Mustang GT3 or the 2026 specification Porsche 911 GT3R, if lacking in ultimate feedback or on-edge adrenaline. In many ways, this Gamescom setup was the vanilla ice cream of vehicle dynamics, and there's nothing wrong with that, but neither is it particularly scintillating. It drives, it sounds, it is still being developed, and we're sure to test it again closer to release. Speaking of which, we know that it is going through certification presently, with an aim of a Q4 release this year. One of the aforementioned DLC packs has a December timeline, so the main game must launch before then, and we hear it could be end of October, early November, depending on that process.
I can talk about how it's running on the PS5 so far, and the team is targeting 4K 60 frames a second on console. I can't tell you right now what frame rate it is, but it does look like it's 60 or close to 60. It's running very smoothly. Honestly, it's running very smoothly. What I am seeing is, which is an Unreal Engine quirk, sorts of buildings that are shimmering. Also detail, like the grass just in front of me is popping up quite aggressively. So I think there will be work to do on that. Grass is not the most important thing to a driving experience, but this is so noticeable, it's kind of putting me off a bit. But I mean, the car interior looks detailed, and exterior, and it's very straightforward to drive. So simply, we need to know more about how the AI will perform. We have an article on the Traxion website that explains that there's going to be a series of like single-player challenges. And also with the cross-platform play, we need to see if that works well, doesn't have any issues at launch. But I can't help but think, by going on console and pushing that through a publishing deal with Nacon, maybe they're avoiding comparisons more with Le Mans Ultimate or iRacing on PC. And maybe it will find a market of people wanting something a bit more serious than Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport. Limited on content, no doubt, at the minute. I think there's a gap in the market there. Now, there is Project Motor Racing coming around later this year as well, so we'll have to compare the two. So if you'd like to see more on that, be sure to subscribe, comment below, and give us a like. I've seen someone play it on a gamepad, but best intentions and trade shows and work in progress versions, it looked like really simple and straightforward for them to play it on a gamepad. I quickly had to go, but then things stopped working, so we're back on the wheel. But that's game development, and we've got lots of interference with signals, and our mics are going weird as well, so this game show, so something's going on. It's a dev PlayStation 5, so we'll see. Anyway, they're hopeful that obviously won't be happening with the final game. But I have some information. So people on console with the gamepad, you're getting the exact same physics as on the PC version or the Xbox version, so physics parity, I'm told. There's no damage on this build, but the PC version already has damage, and that will, I'm told again, carry across to the PlayStation and Xbox versions. But for gamepad, they have got smoothing or these sort of gamepad assists to help make people with a gamepad as competitive as those with a wheel. That's their aim. We should also mention that on a PS5 and Xbox Series X, it's upscaled 4K at 60 frames a second. On an Xbox Series S, it's currently around 40 frames a second. And for PS5 Pro, you get native 4K. We're also going to interview the two co-CEOs, Marco and Maurice. We're going to have information for that on the Traxion website, hopefully as this video goes live, or if not, very soon. So please let us know your thoughts on Rennsport so far in the comments below. And while I think it might have an uphill struggle with the PC market, because there's a lot of very healthy competition there, maybe on Xbox and PlayStation it will find its market, it will find its place. It's going up there with a full normal release price, and until we see the single player career or AI, which hopefully we do soon, then hard to judge. This is just another first look, but it is running well on a PlayStation 5. So that is signs of progress. So let's see, but with the console version, all is not lost. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe. And again, honest thoughts about Rennsport in the comments, please. We'll have coverage when it's released, including a full review. Thanks.